Hi, Kathy.
Hey,
How are you?
good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Anything new happened with you since I've seen you last?
So this weekend was actually my daughter's birthday, so that was really fun. Yeah.
What'd you guys do?
I had a birthday party for her, just at our house with like some of her old friends from school. And it was really cute.
Cool. Awesome. Which daughter was it?
Sarah, so she just turned 9.
Awesome. That's a good age.
She's really fun right now.
Cool. Well, awesome. So, yeah. Before we get started, just wanted to remind you about me being a mandated reporter and that if I feel you're going to harm yourself or harm someone else, I have to report that. That's still okay?
Yeah.
Okay. And then also, if I suspect any elder abuse or child abuse, then I have to report that as well. Okay. And other than that, ready to start working on some stuff? Okay. So today I am going to be working on an assessment with you. And so I'm just going to be asking you a series of questions and then which will help lead us into the next step, which would be goal setting. So but today I'm just going to be going through some questions, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know last time we talked about your financial situation and not having childcare for your children, right? After school, I know that right now they're coming home and there's nobody there, right? And what time do you get off work?
So I get off at 4,
Okay.
but my 2 oldest kids get home at around 2:30.
Okay, and they ride the bus? Okay. And so your neighbor has been threatening to hotline you?
Yes, so
Okay.
my neighbors know that I work at the middle school. They know that the elementary school gets out earlier, so it's been a couple times where the kids have tried to get in the house and the garage code hasn't worked, so they'd have to go to the neighbor's house. But like a couple weeks ago, my neighbors had a conversation with me and they were like, we don't agree with this and we don't think this is okay, so if this is gonna continue to happen, then we're gonna hotline you. And
Okay.
so that was really scary.
Yeah, absolutely. I can totally understand that. Okay. So, other than that, what other concerns did you have, like about, I know you were looking for childcare, obviously. I know you had talked a little bit about your financial situation, and that's related to that you don't have childcare because you've lost a source of income. Okay, so so have you checked into any of the resources that we talked a little bit about last week?
We talked about like the child care that you guys provide, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I think you were needing some food assistance. Were you able to check into the food pantry?
Well, so I've been meaning to sign up for food stamps, but
Okay.
I'm just really nervous about it because I feel like people are gonna know, like the teachers at my school that I work with, I really don't want them, no one really knows about the situation I'm in, and I'm just like really embarrassed about it. Like,
Okay.
I just don't want them to find out.
Well, I understand.
Yeah.
Well, and really, there's, that's completely understandable. There's actually, a lot of my clients do use food stamps, and a lot of them are established individuals within their community, like yourself. And the way that they have it set up now, it looks just like a debit card, so it's very discreet. And so unless somebody's like hovering over your shoulder, they're not gonna know whether you're using a credit card, debit card, or food stamps. So that's the really cool, that's the really cool thing about it. I know back in the day, they had like literal stamps, so.
Yeah, that's what I always thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, And so we've upgraded to, this little card, and so maybe that will help take some of that pressure off, I hope, but, I know it definitely free you up financially, to where we can start, looking for some childcare, for the kids after school.
Yeah.
So, and I know you said that you're really close, with your job and everything. So, like, so how have you been dealing, emotionally with, everything that's been going on as far as your husband leaving?
So I go to a yoga studio, but I've been really considering stop going because it's a lot of money, but that's really my kind of therapy. Like, that really helps me a lot, and the people who work there really help me a lot. So that's kind of my outlet right now, but just because of my finances, I'm not sure if that's going to continue to be an option for me.
Okay, that's understandable. Where do you do yoga at right now?
It's called Lotus Yoga. It's just like a few minutes away.
Okay, yeah, I think I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Cool. I like to do yoga too. So, okay, so what's your relationship like with your neighbors? Is this one neighbor in particular that's calling on you?
So I live in a cul-de-sac, but I mean, you know how it is, how like no one's kids really like come out and play anymore. So like we don't really like know our neighbors super well.
Okay.
But the ones next door have some kids that are my kids' ages, and so sometimes they play. But so when they went over the past couple times, I couldn't get in. I think it's just been like they're more worried for the kids, and they know that my ex-husband or my husband's not around anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So personally, I think it's not really their business, and I think that they are kind of stepping over a line, but I do realize that my kids can't be home all that time.
Right.
So it's kind of like hard to process.
Right. So it sounds like you are really, I mean, you already obviously have some emotional stress going on right now with everything that's going on, and that's just adding to it. Just another, I mean, I'm sure you're worried about them being home by themselves. You don't want them, to be, and then the last thing you need is somebody, hotlining you for your kids being at home. So, does that sound like an area that you would want to work on first?
Yeah, I definitely think getting my kids to not be home alone would just take a lot of stress off me right now.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is get you set up with like a case manager. And I know like we provide several resources here, but like I said, I'm a licensed clinical social worker, so what we'll be doing is just like therapy and we helping you work through these avenues. But one of the ways I can help you work through this is to set you up with the right people that can help you with the things that I might not necessarily have available. Does that sound good with you? Okay. So yeah, I'm going to set you up with a case manager and start trying to figure out how to get this childcare going for after school, and then we need to get you set up for food stamps as well. And if you want to do that.
Yeah, I think I'm at the point where I kind of just need to get over it and just do what's best for my family.
So, yeah. Well, like I said, it's cool the way that they do it now. So be a little bit more discreet. And then let's see. Is there anything else, in particular that you wanna work on? All right, so definitely, financial and, your children's safety, and having somebody to care for them while you're at work is, definitely a priority. What about, and you don't have any family members that can help?
So the only really outstanding family member is my husband's grandmother, and she does call and FaceTime a lot, but she doesn't necessarily come to our home a lot to help with the kids. But I do think that's something that if I asked her, she would make an effort to. So I think I could probably work on
Okay. And if you want, I mean, that is something that we could work on too, is, I can maybe help you to feel better about communicating, with her and reaching out for that, support, you know, if you feel like that's somebody, you know, that would be open to that, having a good family support system. Definitely will help out, yeah. Okay, and so we're gonna get you set up with resources today for food and, childcare. And so that's the main things you need right now. Stress-wise, you're dealing with, you're coping by going to yoga, and you're worried about that because, you know, you're running out of financial funds as well. So, I'll actually check into that and see if there's anything, that I can find that's like, maybe they have, you know, like vouchers or discounts or something where you could just keep going, and especially if that's something that works for you, we don't want to take that out of the equation with everything that's going on, so. And then I think, in our next session, I'd like to work on, kind of processing, I would like, first I want to get your basic needs taken care of. And then the next step, I think we need to probably work on processing, the recent split up between you and your husband, and, start digging into that. If that's something that you want to work on with me.
I mean, it's gonna suck, but I think it would be worthwhile.
Yeah, it'll get better. Okay, all right, awesome. What other questions do you have for me today? Okay. I think we have gone over everything, that I need from you today, and like I said, we will, start working on some goals next week, and, I'll let you leave here today with, I'm gonna give you some reading material that I have, and on, some childcare options that are available, but like I said, I'm also gonna get you set up with a case manager, and she'll be able to help you with all that as well, so. You sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. Well, so I'll see you the same time next week.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, thank you so much.
Good to see you again.
Thanks.